So, if you guys recall, a few weeks ago, we had some rumours that James Gunn would be leaving DC, would be stepping down, specifically after the merger. There's a supposed merger going to be happening between Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount, I believe. There's a merger happening, and the rumour was that after the merger, James Gunn would not be staying as head of DC and he'd be leaving. Obviously, he currently is the head of DC. He's heading the new cinematic universe. They just put out Superman. So that's what James Gunn's up to at the moment. And then the rumour came out that this merger would be happening, and after the merger, James Gunn would be getting replaced. But now it's sort of coming around that might not be entirely accurate. That in fact, James Gunn might not be going anywhere. And I mean, obviously, I don't have anything against James Gunn personally. That would be crazy. But yeah. This is just what's going around at the moment. So, is James Gunn's DCU safe? Even though Gunn himself questioned if he would be there following the release of Man of Tomorrow in 2027, which is the sequel to Superman. They're already working on it, so. According to a new report from Bloomberg, David Ellison's plan for Warner Brothers Discovery's merger with Paramount is to consolidate marketing, distribution and streaming operations while claiming the creative teams at both companies will remain intact. However, that same report follows Bloomberg and other outlets detailing massive changes at Paramount that include layoffs and creative team shake-ups. So, according to Bloomberg, David Ellison, the CEO of Paramount and Skydance, wants to keep the creative teams from both studios intact while merging marketing and distribution. Ellison also plans to combine Warner Brothers HBO Max with Paramount Plus, creating a single streaming platform with an expanded film and TV library. That would probably be decent. That's not a bad decision, to be fair, because obviously Warner Brothers own a ton of IPs. They own a ton of IPs. Ridiculous amount of IPs. I mean, Warner Brothers is one of the legacy studios, you know, so they own a shit ton of franchises and IPs, and so do Paramount. So one streaming platform would be good, unless of course they pull an Xbox and they do what Xbox have done with theirs, and they up the price to a ridiculous amount. I don't even know what the Xbox platform subscription is up to now, because obviously Xbox have their own like Steam, don't they? And they've upped the price to something ridiculous, like 35 quid a month or something. Might be more, I don't know. Don't quote me. So David Ellison wants to keep the creative teams of the two studios while consolidating some of the marketing and distribution, according to people familiar with his plans. And no decisions have been made about whether Paramount would part with either company's real estate, including two of the most famous studio lots in Hollywood, said the people, who asked not to be identified discussing private information. So we've got a bit of an insider scoop here. So the merger would allow Ellison to showcase more projects and build a stronger subscription base. The report adds that there are no plans to sell or spin off the company's cable networks such as MTV, CNN or Turner Broadcasting. I didn't know they owned CNN. That's interesting. CNN ain't doing too well lately, are they? Who watches CNN? Who watches CNN? Fucking nobody, that's who. Nobody watches CNN. That's crazy. Could you even sell CNN? So worthless, can't even be sold. So little viewership, it can't even be sold. You just gotta blow it up, really. You just gotta pour gasoline over the whole thing and then throw a Molotov cocktail at it and watch it burn to the ground. That's all you can do, really. And Paramount's CBS News could begin sharing resources with Warner Brothers' CNN News division. So, Ellison reportedly wants to leverage AI technology to help produce more films and shows, with a goal of 30 movies a year between the two studios, and reaffirmed his belief in theatrical releases as the best way to build long-term franchises. Well, it is. Theatrical releases are still the best way to build long-term franchises. That's absolutely true. The cinema is still very effective. I mean, we all know how much cinema viewership has dropped over the years, and how little tickets the actual cinemas are selling, and how few people are physically, going to cinemas anymore. I mean, when was the last time you went to the cinema and went, whoa, it's fucking packed in here? I go to the cinema quite a lot. I haven't been in a while, actually, but I do typically go quite a bit. And the most people, if it's not like a big film, if it's not a big release, if it's not fucking Avengers or Star Wars, if it's, if it's just sort of an average film, if that's what you want to call it, what do you get, 10 people in there? I mean, how many? Most cinemas are what, 200 capacity? And you get 10 people, 15 people, if it's not a big release, if it's not Marvel or Star Wars or DC or whatever. And I've noticed a lot of cinemas these days are doing re-releases. There's a lot of re-releases happening at the moment because they haven't got good shit to actually put on. So they're relying on the old stuff that people actually enjoy and still want to go see. Bloomberg's story makes no mention of DC Studios, Superman or James Gunn's leadership, only that Ellison wants to keep the creative teams of the two studios intact at Paramount and Warner Brothers. As we've gone over, Mike DeLuca and Pam Abney run Warner Brothers Pictures at WBD. Gunn's DC Studios is separate and answers directly to CEO David Zaslav. Again, what does it say when the head of DC Studios openly admits he doesn't know his future, yet he's the only one with Zaslav's ear? For a merger that will completely reshape Warner Brothers' film division, the absence of DC is striking. Sources have told that Gunn's future is uncertain and that his DCU plans are effectively on hold pending the sale. If Ellison intends to keep creative teams, it's unclear whether Gunn's DC Studios would even qualify. Recent Warner Brothers projects like Superman and Peacemaker Season 2 have been divisive, reportedly underperformed financially and lost audience interest. Not a strong position for studio head entering a merger. No, it's not great. It's definitely not great. It's not the optimum position for them to be in, DC or Warner Brothers. But yeah, we'll have to see how this whole James Gunn saga progresses. So yeah, that is all I wanted to cover. So yeah, see you later.